2.
Hi and welcome to the Richfield Heritage Preserve. My name is Kim Scott Sowinski and I teach yoga hikes here and also yoga. I'd like to invite you to my next class, which is September 6th, Sunday at 9:30 a.m. And then for the whole month of September and hopefully throughout fall, we'll be here on different dates. So many great programs here, and if you're like me, I just love coming here to hike and spend time in nature, which is so healing. So what's a yoga hike? Well, basically it's a traveling yoga class. It's for all levels. If you've never done yoga before, totally fine. We hike a little bit. I'll tell you about some nature things, about how trees can actually breathe and how they have vibrations underground to communicate with each other, things about plants and where you are, and a little bit of history, which there is a lot of history here at the Richfield Heritage Preserve. Believe me, absolutely love it, no matter what the weather is. A little bit cool today. We're still in the Pitta season. Pitta, what's that? Well, I teach an Ayurveda-inspired yoga, so it's based on the doshas of Pitta, Vata, and Kapha. Summer is the Pitta season, so it's ruled by the elements of fire and water. So we had a little bit of water this morning, but it's still very warm. So basically, I teach a balancing class for whatever season it is. It's basically living your life in nature, in balance with nature. So we will have a different class in the summer than we do in the fall, which is Vata, ruled by wind. It's a lot cooler, it's drier. And then in the winter, out in the snow, where Kapha is very heavy, you think about water and earth, so it's very, very heavy. So whenever I do teach a yoga hike, you can dress just like me, maybe partial yoga clothes, but you wear appropriate footwear for the trails. And all the trails in here are so varied. I love it. It's a combination of rock, pine needles that have fallen through some different trails. The Appalachian Trail comes through here. There's so much variety. So we would hike for a little bit and then stop and do asana. Asana are just yoga postures. So we might even just breathe. Take a big inhale in and a big exhale out. Because you know, when you are breathing in, all the oxygen that's given off by the plants, they actually feed on our carbon dioxide, which is our waste. It's a great balance in nature. And you know that being in nature also increases our cognitive function. It helps us to be more creative. It also can take care of stress. The stress that we have in everyday life, especially during the coronavirus, can increase our levels of cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it can help us to keep weight on. It can make us feel anxious all the time. So people that are not in nature on a regular basis actually have a condition called nature deficit disorder. So after we would do a nice traveling yoga hike, we would come to our mat, maybe on a platform like this, the Windy Hill area, and we would continue to do some seated and on the ground asana. So I provide the mats. You can bring one if you want, but I provide them as well. We may or may not take off our shoes, but we continue to expand all the energy channels in our body, opening up those nadis, N-A-D-I, those energy channels that we have that sometimes get blocked, especially if we're not breathing in that fresh, clean air and getting out all the toxins and letting things go. So I talk about swaha in my class. That means let it go, let it be. So many of us hold on to things, and that makes us sick eventually. So in yoga, in our yoga practice, I will interject things about nature, things about Ayurveda, which by the way is a sister science to yoga, over 5,000 years old. And it's basically living in harmony with nature. So I hope you'll join me as we travel around these beautiful woods in the Richfield Heritage Preserve, with a lot of gratitude from me for allowing me to practice and share my practice with you in the upcoming months. Again, check out my next one, September 6th, which is Sunday at 9:30 a.m. And you can check my Facebook page, which is Kim Sowinski, or my website, cravenaturecleveland.com, or we'll have a link on this page as well to find out all the classes. In the meantime, get outside, breathe deeply, and honor the light in yourselves and others. Namaste.